Welcome back to Air Sky Buzz World Cup. You've had a good rest. Why are Coventry wobbling? Is it the management? Is it the players? Is it a little bit of both? Or do we just all need to calm down a little bit? We've got Scott, Tom and Jay back with us to give us their views on all that's happened over the last 2.5 weeks over the busy festive period. Hope you are doing well. 20 games left. 20 games now between now and May the 4th. And we will find out exactly where Coventry will be playing next season. Let's start off with you then, Jay, shall we? Here we are, 52 points. We are, as it stands, 8 clear of Ipswich in third. Do we all need to stop worrying and stop mentioning this wobble word?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Again, we knew this is going to be a tough period for us. So, again, my thing after the last international break was my sort of two targets for the team were to get to 70, which is halfway point in the season, and get to 50 points, which we achieved. I think we were on 51 at that point, which is amazing. And the other thing was, I always said, as long as we're in the mix, Doug needs to back Lampard. We're in the mix and we're ahead of the mix. We're still, again, I'm going to sort of count Ipswich as winning that game that they've got in hand. So let's say call it 5 points ahead, 5-6 points. So that's still a very, very good, healthy lead. With the goal difference, that's 2 losses we need in that period of time for anybody just to get on par with us. There's circumstances for why we're in this position and why we've had this little bit of a wobble. Everyone has a wobble. Ipswich, when they had their promotion season, had a wobble. Leeds last season, I think around the same time, had the exact same wobble as well. We knew we knew we got a small squad. We knew it's going to be tough for us, and evidently it's been exactly that. We played wingers. We've only got 2 wingers in the whole squad. We look gassed. We've had an illness in the squad, which again I'm not going to use too much of an excuse, to be honest with you. But the circumstances. Again, we're going to talk about sort of signings later on, but there's a couple of signings freshen things up. We've got a couple of injuries back as well in the not too distant future. So I'm thinking things are going to be looking at rosy very quickly.
Right. Lots to get through then on this particular episode. We've got our A to Z coming. We've got to talk about new transfers coming. We'll talk about SA and others that are coming in, others going out, of course, as well. We'll talk about the FA Cup as well. But let's jump back in time a little bit then, Scott, if we can. Let's talk about the festive programme as it has been. What do you put it down to that we haven't seen Coventry regularly be picking up 3 points?
Probably that expectation that we're going to pick up 3 points every game is probably part of it. I think people have mentioned that before. You know, people get bored if we're not 1-0 up after 5 minutes and everything goes quiet. But I think, like Jay said, and you mentioned earlier, I think, you know, when you look going back to probably what was it, Southampton, I guess, and probably even from the Swansea game on Boxing Day, we've had JDS got sent off at Southampton. We've been missing players. We've had injuries. We've had illness. So we've missed Jay De Silva. We've missed Bobby Thomas through injury, and now also he's suspended. I think Torp's been injured. You name it. I think we probably all mentioned it. They're coming up to Christmas. We had 4 games in 10 days, 5 games in 15 days, and the small squad or limited squad, I think that's impacted. Although we should have players to come in, it's just not happened for whatever reason. And part of me thinks, I probably said it on here a while ago, at Ipswich away, we look knackered. And I don't know if that's gone into the Christmas period or not, that at times we just haven't looked full of energy. But I think from what I've seen in January, and we'll come on to that, what we've brought in so far, I think at least one of them is going to make quite a big difference. So I think it's just down to injuries, what we expected, illness, and some suspensions now, Mark.
Tom, we've had the Birmingham loss, of course, the loss to Ipswich, you've already mentioned. The 1-1 draw with Charlton is the one which was the most, I think, baffling in terms of if you look at league positions. What's been who or what has disappointed you in these games?
I was quite disappointed at the Charlton result. I wasn't actually. I know it's at home, the Ipswich game, but I was expecting a really tough game. In my opinion, they're the biggest challengers for us. So, you know, they beat us fair and square. They were miles ahead of us on the night. The Birmingham loss was disappointing as well, considering their form going into it. But yeah, the Charlton result I was very disappointed at that one. I mean, they had terrible form going into it. We scored very early on. It was a very nice, well-worked goal from Sims as well. and we just kept inviting the pressure. And I was at the game, and everyone around us, including me, I mean, the away atmosphere.
Has he gone quiet?
Yeah, he's gone.
You're on mute.
Seem to have lost you there, Thomas. Are you still with us?
Can't hear you.
To jump off and jump on again, mate. Ben, welcome. Hope you had a good, decent break. Some people have started to question Lampard a bit, which is a little bit strange. Where are you at with what's been going on over Christmas?
I agree with Scott a lot of what he said. I agree with. I think everything's been going for us at the start of the season, but lately we've had. I don't blame the referees, but we've had one penalty all season. We've had some absolute stonewall penalties just thrown in our face. Absolute. The referees have been really bad, but I'm not blaming the referees. It's caught with us now, having a small squad, and it was always going to. Yeah, it's not Lampard. He's been fighting. The passion's there. He's been trying his best for the squad. The lads have given everything, but I think they're just knackered. And I think the players they brought in will be good, and I'm sure there'll be a couple more to get added to the squad. And I think once we find our way out of this little dip, I think we'll be all right.
Okay. Let us know in the comments what you think. And if you haven't yet subbed, please do so. This is 20 minutes of initial commentary chat, and then we've got the commentary where Blue Skypers will extra time to come up as well, looking at all the stats of the game. And so on. Here's some social media takes, Jay, from the FA Cup game. Let's see your view on that. Ollie says, Kai Andrews looks like the best midfielder we've got coming off the bench now. He shows more creativity than Allen and currently Rudy as well. Yeah, do you agree?
I thought he looked very good. I thought the first half he was a bit quiet. Eccles a bit quiet as well. The first half, I thought Stoke sort of played through them quite fairly easily-ish. But I thought the second half, both of them really sort of picked up a bit. And Andrews looked really, really tidy and sort of smart with the way he's moving around the pitch and stuff. He looked very, very promising. Personally, again, I know Ben sort of disagrees on this a little bit. I think he should go out on loan. I personally think we need a centre midfield player to come in to replace Ben Sheaf, which we got rid of in the summer. So if he comes in, he's not going to get many minutes, and I really think that he's in a position that he needs to get immense minutes in his legs. So I think he looks. Every time I've seen, especially the last couple of appearances, he looked really, really promising, really, really sharp. But going into a 20-game running now of every game sort of do or die effectively, you can't really take risks. We need people that are going to perform every single time and not have that sort of, they may do it, they may not sort of scenario for me, at least. So I think he looked really, really good. I wouldn't say he's the best option we've got off the bench because I think Eccles has been really, really good this season and has improved massively. Obviously got Allen. Again, I'm not a big fan of Allen, but I think he's really, really good. When you need to kill a game off, he's really, really good to come on as well. So it's a fantastic option to have coming off the bench. But I think that we will get a centre midfield player, and seeing that we've got rid of Ben Chief, and that means his minutes are going to be even more limited.
One player that has come in, Scott, was getting some praise from the Stoke game. Luke says, SA looks cracking. Raduni does not. Yeah, quite a bit of chirping on Raduni at the moment. Not too worried about that result. Rather have a little fixtures as possible. Yeah, I think that was echoed by most Coventry fans. Not too bothered about being out of the cup. Is he right, though?
About SA,
I
think from what I've seen of SA so far, which is one game to be brutally honest, he looked pretty decent to me. He looks quick. He looks lively. I could see him at one stage, looking to his left and right and telling people to move up the pitch. And he's just joined us and he's, 20 years of age. I know he's come from a Premiership side, but he had a cracking bit of skill and trickery for the Hadji header off the post. Looked quite quick. I think he can play right wing or 10. So I think at the moment he looks pretty decent to me. I was quite impressed with Yang as well. A little bit younger. Probably not as much as experience as SA, but I think he could be useful. But SA looks very good to me. Rudy, I think he's better. He's getting better each week. I think my biggest issue with him, he trips over the ball more often than not. He gets into decent places, finds some space, and at the moment he just from what I've seen of him lately, he just seems to be doing himself instead of other bits and bobs. But, we don't know if his shoulder's all right. We don't know how that is, but he seems to be getting back to fitness, and he's in the positions that he was not so long ago, so it's 50-50 really, but it wouldn't surprise me if SA gets a start at 10 in front of him or whatever happens on Saturday.
Let's go through some quick-fire transfer stuff then, some ins and outs, and get your opinions on it, if that's okay. Ben, first of all, for you, Luke 09 is rumoured Coventry to be interested in, of course, scored the winning penalty at the weekend, which I had to sit and watch. Yeah, it's the sort of player that would do well for you?
If you would have asked me a couple of weeks ago, I'd have said absolutely not, and I can't stand Luke 09. But after Saturday, I'm starting to think that someone that's been there and done that, and he's a very vocal sort of player, and he's got the experience coming in, and he will grab people by the scruff of the neck and say, "Come on, we're doing it this way, we're doing it that way." And I feel he had a bit of sort of like a bit of a calm in the dressing room. So I wouldn't pick him first choice, but that is the type of player, minus the shithousery that he brings, is what we need. We need a been there, done that leader.
Okay. Does he fit into the Lampard system?
Not for me. For me personally, I think because we play a super high line, we need a defender with a bit of pace. They need to get back because our fullbacks also play very high. Our centre backs are very high. It's almost like a 2-on-1 effectively against their centre forward, plus the wingers bombing on as well. So they need to be very quick to cover ground. So for me, Luke 9 is he's a good player. He's been there, he's done it, but you need a bit of pace in the system, I feel, to sort of cover ground. You need to get around that pitch to sort of cover the fullback as well, and obviously get a little bit behind. Again, obviously, I've heard like Pinnock's come available, and people saying about Pinnock as well from Brentford. Again, I just don't think that sort of type of player would suit the system at all, just because you need to get around that pitch quite a lot. For me,
we have Grimes coming in and anchoring though as well. Jay, he sort of drops into centre half and helps out, doesn't he? I get what you're saying, but if he's the only option, would you rather have him in the squad or not in the squad?
Yeah, but again, we'll talk about this more in the 30 minutes after. The after show, but. Again, the problem we have is our fullbacks are so high, and it's, again, since Blackburn, the team just using the same tactic over and over again. You hit the wings and get behind us all the time. And Rushworth, I didn't realise until about a week or so ago, has got the highest goals prevention out of any goalkeeper in the league. And for a team that's on the table, that's not a good stat to have. That's sort of showing you riding your luck a little bit as well. So again, I love Kitch and Bobby individually. I think Wolfenden is probably on par with those. I personally, I've said this in the summer as well, I would want a statement signing in that position but that obviously is dependent on somebody going out.
I think as well as pace, you probably somebody can read the game as well a lot better. That helps.
Cheers for that, all of you. Tom, I want to ask you about Norman Bissett. He's gone on loan. We were heralding him last year, I think, weren't we? That Sheffield United game as being,
it was the wink.
The wink, yeah. No loss, I'd imagine.
No loss at all. I mean, don't get me wrong, up and coming player. I think he's got bags of potential, but I think he's got a bit of an ego issue. So I don't think Lampard likes it that much, and I think he thought he should be starting every game when it was obvious he shouldn't. And I think there was a bit of a clash there. I don't know. I'm not trying to cause any rumours, but I don't think it's a big loss personally. But good luck to him. I hope he smashes it.
Okay. So just staying with you, Tom, whilst you're in the chair. Haji Wright to West Ham, we're hearing potentially as well. Would you sell him?
Well, 120 million apparently, isn't it? I don't know with Haji because I love Haji, don't get me wrong, and I do think he's going to start scoring soon. I mean, he's had so many chances, he just can't score. His confidence is so low. But I think for the right price and with a really good statement striker coming in, I don't see why not. But I do love Haji. I know how good he is. I mean, I said this to someone the other day. If Haji was scoring every game like he was at the start of the season, you wouldn't want to get rid of him. So if he starts scoring more and he comes good, then yeah. But at the moment, his confidence is just so shot. He's a complete different player. So if for the right price, yes. But I still think he's going to do a job, hopefully. I mean, Lampard believes in him, and he said it in his most recent presser. He said he's back in the strikers. I don't think we'll get another striker option in. So just got to back him.
Okay. let's have a look at what's to come for Coventry then. This is the January fixtures. I mean, we've talked about 20 games, 4 months now, Scott, it is. So all we've got left. Season's going to be over before we know it, isn't it? Let's look at January. Coventry against Leicester this weekend. Coventry against Millwall, then trips to Norwich and QPR before the month is out. Out of 12, what's the minimum, Scott, from those 4 fixtures that we need to be picking up?
Those 4 games, a minimum. I'd ideally like at least 2 wins. I mean, looking at them, Leicester not doing very well at the moment. Millwall are a bit hit and miss. Norwich have started to come good. QPR have been brilliant since we battered them, and it's quite strange. I'll take 2 home wins and 2 draws, 8 points, but 6 or 7. My kid's favourite saying these days. That would do me, I think, Mark.
Okay. We spoke to our Middlesbrough podcast, Jay. They're loving the Coventry wobbling at the moment. They are still confident they can catch you. Do you see that happening?
We've had our wobble and they're still 6 points behind us, so good luck with that.
Okay.
I think they have a bit of a wobble as well. So I think they need to focus on themselves rather than look at anyone else, really. They've got problems themselves. Again, look, Middlesbrough are a good team, obviously, all jokes aside, and they will be there or thereabouts with us as well. I think it's a sort of a 3-way shootout by the looks of it between themselves, Ipswich and Borough. But the beauty of Middlesbrough are that they're inconsistent at the best of times. They can win 4-0 against Southampton and then go and lose 4 games on the bounce as well, like they have with one of their current status was. We've had a massive wobble. A lot of teams have these moments. We've had ours. Hopefully on Saturday we'll sort of go back to winning ways. And they'll sort of see us in the dust, I guess. But I find it quite amusing that Borough sort of keeps saying that we've had Coventry wobbling. Yeah, we've had a wobble, mate. You're 6 points behind us and an extra point for the goal difference as well. So good luck with that.
Finally, Ben, since I last saw you've lost your home record, the last one in the Championship to go. Sorry, the second to last one to go. Coventry versus Ipswich. Do you suspect, after what you've seen from all the other teams so far, that will be a Premier League fixture next season?
I hope so. In regards to us, I don't know about it. I still don't know about Ipswich. They were a better side than us, but they're not consistent, and they will lose more games. That I can assure you.
Okay. We will be detailing and reviewing every single one of those 20 games over the next 4 months, so stay with us. As I say, do drop a subscribe if you haven't yet done so already. Right then, we're doing the Z of Coventry to finish off with on the first half of the show. Let's get into it. We're up to letter L. I don't know how it's gone so quickly, but we are. Any book, anything decent here? Open forum.
Lampard.
Oh, Lampard, yeah. Great shout. I mean, I had 2, if that's okay. My first one was Leicester at home game back in, the 23-24 season when we beat them 3-1. Because Leicester were flying at the time, and to beat them 3-1, our rivals as well. I've heard the CBS noisy, but that was a really noisy game. So
we don't want their name on our A to Z, though, do we, Tom?
Yeah, and then I said Dennis Lawrence as well. Every club fan knows how important he was, and we all miss him. So Dennis Lawrence, but Lampard's a great shout.
Lampard.
Yeah, you surprised me.
I've got Larry Lloyd and Steve Livingston. They're the only other 2 that I could think of, but Larry Lloyd was a long time ago.
Bodie is the only player I could think of, and he definitely shouldn't be in
I was thinking Lloyd McGrath,
last season,
but obviously that's the first name, so
I think Lampard would be a good shout.
Yeah, Lampard's
right. There we go. Well, that was straightforward. Lampard goes straight in to the Coventry A to Z, and if he gets you promoted, my God. He's building his stature this time next year, won't we? Yeah, absolutely. Right, stay tuned then for Where Sky Blues Walk Extra Time. Thank you very much for watching. Good luck against Leicester, of course, this weekend. Should be a really loud, raucous atmosphere, of course. We'll catch you in 7 days' time to review it all again. Here comes Where Sky Blues Walk Extra Time.
Drop a note out. I think if we go through the game since Boxing Day, I'm assuming Tom and Jay, you did the Southampton game when I wasn't around, so probably looking at Boxing Day, Swansea, Ipswich at home, Charlton away, and then obviously Blues away in the FA Cup game. So, Ben, your thoughts on the Swansea game Boxing Day?
It It was a tough game, wasn't it? Probably more
It went off.
tough than it was. I thought they were very good football inside. I thought
Yep.
But again, I go back to what you said. We looked knackered. We looked absolutely knackered. The play, like Milan, he's done. What has he done? He's done 3 seasons, playing every game nearly.
Yeah.
And he just looks shot. He needs 2-3 weeks off for me. Again, last game he was treading water. He was knackered, and I think now we've got some more players. Lampard's going to have to use the squad more because I feel like he's seen over the last month that we need players, and hopefully Doug has as well, because the drop off has been quite heavy, hasn't it? Really, performance wise and stat wise.
Yeah, I think it's an interesting name you mentioned. I noticed at Middlesbrough away when we won 4-2. Is that the right score?
Yeah, 4-2.
He was a bit slow getting out to people, you know, and if you're knackered, you're giving silly fouls away in your final third of the box or your own third of the box. And yeah, I think he's looked a little bit off his game, but it's quite an interesting thing when you say he's played 40 odd games for the last 2 seasons without having a decent right back to cover him. Interesting one, but
even the season before that, Scott, for his old club, he played every minute of every game as well. So he's been ill as well, hasn't he? So I think you can go back as far as the Middlesbrough game. He was sick in the game, wasn't he? Southampton, that was it.
Yeah.
And for me, he needs to let his body recover, and hopefully. Yeah. The little break he's had, he only played 25 minutes yesterday, 20 minutes if that. And hopefully he's got some electrolytes on and let his body recover, and we can get back against a big game on Saturday.
Yeah, I thought their goalkeeper was pretty good at Swansea. Is it Vigouroux, his name?
Yeah, he's one of the top keepers, isn't he?
Yeah, and they missed a sitter at the end. Was it Cullen missed a simple volley over the bar as well, didn't he, Tom?
That was right in front of me as well. It was a really tough game, to be fair. And I think Rushworth has been massive over this like Christmas period. I mean, he's been our best player, but the squad just looked knackered. And I'm going to keep saying it. This is our biggest chance we've had to go up in, God knows, like forever. So we've got to spend. I think Doug knows that, and he's going to back Lampard. We've got 2 in so far. We've already helped our wingers' depth issue in the space of, a week of the transfer window. I do believe there's more to come, hopefully. But they just look knackered, don't they? But it's been a struggle. It's a shame, really. But like we said earlier, we're still quite a few points ahead of the rest. So just got to keep winning our home games, draw our way, and I don't see why we can't be in the Prem next season. Yeah,
which is what we did, wasn't it, Jay? I mean, we drew away at Southampton with a side that didn't look great on paper compared to what we put out, but the boys battled well for 90 minutes, and then we beat Swansea in a bit of an ugly win game, Boxing Day.
Yeah, definitely. That Swansea match was a bit of a hard watch, I found. Both teams weren't that fantastic. But I'm just looking at the results now. Just looking back from the beginning of December, Ipswich away, I thought we were probably the better team for 30 minutes by some distance until that Hurst incident and stuff. Then obviously the second half I thought was a bit more equal, but obviously they just took their chances. Preston, I thought we were much better, the better team in the first half. Second half, obviously they just sat back effectively and then had one chance scored, unfortunately. Bristol, again, quite similar to the Swansea match, I thought quite equal. Southampton, we were better the team in the first half. Second half, obviously grounded out. Ipswich, this is the one that I thought we got absolutely battered at home. I thought they were miles ahead of us. That was the only game I thought was a bit worrying. Charlton away, again, we scored the goal early. I thought fantastic, we're back. And then I just thought the game sort of lulled out a little bit. And then obviously made a mistake, conceded. And Birmingham thought we were the better team as well. Didn't look fantastic, but they had 4 shots, scored 3 goals. We 4 shots, scored 3 goals. We had opportunity to score when it was 1-1 as well. So obviously it's not good losing. It's not a good habit to get into losing. But I think you need to sort of take a step back a little bit and look at the individual games and the performances that we did in those games. Bar that Ipswich match, I thought we played. I think we were probably equal, if not the best team out of the matches as well. So I'm not sort of too worried. Again, we keep going on about how gassed everybody looks, how tired everybody looks. Matt Grimes has effectively had 2 weeks off now without any matches. Obviously, when the Leicester match comes ahead. Milan, I was a bit surprised he got some minutes, but he definitely needed a rest. And then you got other players like the wingers, Tats and EMC got a break, knowing now that, again, like you said earlier, Yang looked quite good. SA looked quite good. We've got Rodoni on the verge of coming. Sorry, Rodoni is obviously there. We've got a BTA on the verge of being back as well. So the squad's starting to sort of come back into good, healthy shape as well. And I can't believe I'm going to say this. I wouldn't have said this a year ago, but BTA coming back is going to be massive for us. His energy's going to be electric for the team as well.
Yeah. What about you, Ben? I mean, I was looking at the fixtures myself, and I noticed that Boxing Day we had Bobby out. I think he was ill or injured. Wolfie came in. We had JDS suspended because of the Southampton game, so Bidders came in. The Ipswich game, we were done for 90 minutes completely. But again, no Bobby, no JDS. Charlton, he played Latty, Bobby, and Kitchen at the back. We didn't have Torp. I think he missed that game. The Blues game, who were missing? Went through a back four. That we were back to a normal back four. We had a strong side, and then we had the sending off at the end, which was a bit of a daft decision, really. But I'm assuming frustration got to him. But you can see where the small squad's gone, the injuries, and the players that have come in. And probably I think, and I've said before, that these boys are coming in now. We've got 20 games left, and as Tom was saying, it's our best chance of promotion since we were probably relegated from the Premiership. These are boys who are all in the spotlight. Everyone's expecting us to win 2, 3, 4, 5-0 every week, and now we're not. Is it becoming more pressure on these players, or people struggling to do what we expect them to do?
I think they're just tired, and I think bringing in some new fresh faces will lift the dressing room. And the way I look at it now is at the start of the season, if we would have been in this position, we all would have snapped your hand off. So I think it's a case of Lampard will get them in now, and they'll say, look, the slate's clean now. We're 6 points clear. We go again now. This is a fresh season, and if we get this many points, do it in blocks of 5 games. If we get this many points from this many games, and then just do it like that and take it 5 games at a time, game by game, keep going. And I think as what Jay just said about BTA coming back in, when he plays, it's like we've got a second striker. When he plays in the 10 or on the wing, he's always getting across. EMC has stepped up massively recently, numbers-wise, goals-wise, assist-wise. So I think we're in a good place, but I think it's about perspective now, and we've got I feel like it's very negative on X as well at the minute, and everyone's getting on people's cases, and there's some shocking opinions flying around, and I feel like we all just need to come together, as we've always done for years and years, when we've been in the shit, and get behind these lads, because they need us. They really, really need us now. And if we can get them through this little lull, and like you say, I think it's not their fault. They've been putting in effort, like they've been giving everything they've got, illness, fighting through. We had 10 men for half a game against Southampton. They got a 1-1 draw. I think we could say about Ipswich away, we played well. I think if we get that penalty, is the game different? Possibly. I feel like there's been numerous occasions where if we get a penalty, the game might look different, but we haven't got them. So what can you do? You pick yourself up and you go again. And I feel that's what we need to do now going forward, is all unify, get behind these lads. Hadji Wright, get him going, get him scoring. Rodoni will come back. He will score. He will go on a run. You could see a bits of him when he's getting on the half turn, like he used to yesterday. He was getting on the half turn, he was driving it, and once he finds his form, he'll be back on track. So I wouldn't worry too much. I did like Kai Andrews coming in, and because he looked a bit fearless, and I feel like the lads are stuck in a bit of a rut of like same things, and to have a young lad like Kai Andrews and Yang and Eze coming in and just being a bit more fearless, and that's what we need, a bit more unpredictability.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah, it's quite interesting when you think about it, isn't it? That they're both on loan, going aside, do what he's probably saying to them. Do what you do for Palace, do what you did at Portsmouth for us. And like you said, it's quite interesting how people might approach that by having that fearless effort. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting game. I mean, it's quite interesting how you split it up. 20 games left with 6 points clear. Is that your Christmas present?
No.
Good Christmas present.
Yeah.
Whinging.
6 points clear, 20 games to go. Like you said, you snap everybody's hand off. It's a great start. And like you say, if you split it into batches of 4 games or 5 games, this is who we're playing. This is what we need. I mean, the 4 January fixtures there. We're at home to Leicester. We're at home to Millwall. We're away at Norwich and QPR. Here's me saying 6 or 7 points. What would be acceptable? Leicester not playing very well, really.
I'd like 9. I'd like 9. I think it is important to get back on the wagon this month and hit the ground running, because everyone's saying, "Oh, Coventry this, Coventry that." They fell off the lulling, and just to give come back, get 9 points from them four games, I think that'd be a great return.
That'd be a great return. What do you reckon we'll get, Tom? Asking you the same question that I was asked.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be. I mean, with our current form, probably about 6 or 7. I'd love exceptional. But yeah, for me, I think Leicester are in terrible form at the moment. Don't get me wrong, but in this sort of game, anything can happen. But I'm confident at home we would hopefully put them away. I mean, I think the first goal in that game is massive for me, and we've got returning players and stuff. So you never know, we might see another addition before that. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'd say about 6 or 7 points would be nice. We just need to get back on track, really, just back them, because we've got such a massive chance. But 9 points would be unbelievable. And I'll say, when we get to about the February-March sort of period, we have got some favourable fixtures, as we like to call it, and they're the games you have to be winning. But
yeah. About yourself, Jay. I know Leicester, obviously, form goes out the window when it's a bit of a local derby, whether you're doing well or not, and everybody fights for everything. So, your thoughts on the Leicester Millwall games and QPR and Norwich away?
Yeah, exactly what Tom said. Leicester's form is not fantastic, but nor is ours. So, probably 2 out of form teams playing against each other. But again, regardless of that, I wouldn't say it's a derby, so it's a local rivalry between the two teams. Both teams will want to win. So I think it'll be a good battle. But again, I just think we've got too much quality for them. They're consistently not playing well. We're in a bad patch. They've had a whole season of not playing well with odd games. They do play well. Where we're playing well, even in our bad patch. Again, I am adamant we are playing well at the moment. I don't think we played well against Stoke in the first half. I thought it was really, really poor. But the second half, we sort of stepped up. But the good thing about having SA and Yang in the squad now, BT potentially returning, we've got options off the bench. Against Birmingham, absolutely nothing. Wright came on, didn't do a lot, but bar him, there's nothing on the bench to change the game at all. Now we've got tons and tons of options, like in Ipswich have and stuff. And when you've got tired legs on there, imagine if Yang hasn't been fantastic at Pompey, but imagine if his energy comes on with 20 minutes to go, and you think, oh yeah, I've just dealt with Mason Clark for 60, 70 minutes, and bloody hell, this young South Korean lad's going to come and really run at me for the next 20 odd minutes. Stuff. You'll be absolutely gassed. You hate it, and then he'll come off. But then obviously on the other side, SA's come on, or BTA's come on, or again, you've got so many sort of options and so many options to sort of work with now. It was absolutely fantastic. And again, things like Torp coming back is going to be a massive plus. He may start. I can't see BTA start, maybe get on the bench, but again, the crowd. I think the crowd are going to be really up for it on Saturday, and yeah, they'll get again. Obviously, X is a cesspit at the moment. Absolutely, it's horrible at the moment. I hate going on it, but I'm addicted to it as well at the same time. But typically, when you go to the football match, the fans are right bang behind the team, no matter what, which is fantastic to see as well. Also, Ben obviously mentioned we haven't had a penalty for a while. I'm a true believer that things will level out. So we're going to have a massive run of penalties coming out soon. Fingers crossed. I forgot what they look like, but fingers crossed. We're going to have tons of them coming up.
We've had a few apologies, haven't we, for penalties? Charlton,
3.
Southampton. What was the other one? Ipswich, was it? No.
We've had 3. We've had 3 in the last 2 months.
Yeah.
Is it Birmingham? Was there one in Birmingham?
Charlton, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mason Clark.
Yeah.
Charlton, Southampton.
When Van Avik ran through.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was that one when he was pulled down. I think Aji at Southampton in the first half, I think, or second half when he was. Yeah. I thought it was a penalty, and I think there was a third one, but I can't remember who it was against.
I thought it was the Birmingham one with Mason Clark in the second half. It might have been. I can't remember.
Was it?
Might have been.
Yeah.
But as Ben said earlier, again, there's issues. We haven't got them. We just got to move on with it, dust yourself down, and get to a point where you just get the job done without having any sort of issues of like again, like Charlton, for example, yeah, it should be a red card against Milan, or for Milan, should say, but we got the job done regardless. That's the sort of position that we need to get back into, that ruthless sort of streak as well. And you just back the boys. You've got to back the boys and get the job done. They're going to do the job for us regardless. So you know that they're going to try everything possible to get promoted. We just got to do our part as well.
Effectively, it's half time, and we've just got to. Effectively, it's half time. Go out the second half and just give it everything, and hopefully get to the promised land. And that's all we can hope. And And they've got our full backing. They really do. They've done wonders this season. We're fully backing them.
Do you know one thing I've noticed, lads, is the lack of shots. Like we were shooting from outside. Anytime we got an opportunity, we were shooting. It seems to have died off a bit. No one wants to shoot anymore.
We've got a couple of goals against Birmingham, but I think that's more
Eccles. Yeah,
I think Eccles is probably again. I think Eccles improved massively this season. But he's probably the only real one that has that sort of technical ability to do that, apart from obviously Torp as well. Again, I love when EMC comes in, but he hasn't got that sort of shot that you want from a sort of.
He has, Jay, in the locker, but he's not been doing it. He doesn't do it. He's not done it for us. I've seen it at Peterborough. He used to always come inside and rip it. And
I haven't seen it. Tats again can do it every now and then, but not that often. I think probably Torp and Eccles are probably the two that have in the locker. And obviously Ellison's as well after his little ping against Birmingham as well.
I think Yang's going to do more of that. You could see what he was wanting to come inside on his right foot. Now we've got Eze, who is left-footed on the right wing, and Yang, who is right-footed on the left wing. So you can see what they're going to do.
Yeah. And really excited about these signings.
Well, they're both very confident lads as well. They want to go forward. That's all they basically want to do. They want to go and attack. Again, the clips I have seen of Yang at Pompey is him driving in, cutting in on that. Obviously, EMC likes to go on the outside more often than not and get a cross in, where Yang seems to like to come in quite often and maybe get a shot off or a little sort of slide pass and stuff like that. So, again, I'm really excited about the two. Again, Yang was a bit 50-50 on, but I think just looking at it and sort of stepping back and looking at the fact that he's going to be playing higher up and doesn't have to defend as much as he was at Pompey and battle as much maybe. I think he's a really good option, and Esse just looks, he just looks exciting. He had this couple of little moments in that match where he had that little spark of magic kind of. Yeah,
he looks pretty useful. I mean, like I say, Yang looked useful. I guess my only slight concern is what he will do to have the left back. I know we've spoken about EMC not fully doing the Tats job, and sometimes our left back's exposed. But who knows? Hopefully somebody in the midfield can move over to the left and help him out.
Did you watch that podcast that I put on X about Yang specifically from a South Korean podcast?
Not yet, no.
If you watch it, they speak highly of him. They said he's the best thing since Son, and he's got all the qualities. He's further ahead where Son was at this age, and they all have really high hopes for him. And they say that he's capable defensively. He runs his socks off. He gives 110% every game defensively and attacking. He's just a bit lightweight, but they say they've never seen a player from South Korea be able to strike a ball so cleanly, consistently. And he's very direct. So there was a lot of good things in that podcast, which sort of opened my eyes a bit. And I feel like playing for us is totally different than playing for Pompey, which didn't suit him. He just sees the ball going over his head all the time. So I feel like the way we play football suits him perfectly, and I feel like that's why he got recalled and said to us.
And one thing I do know, he got the ball a hell of a lot deeper than what EMC tends to do. EMC's sort of maybe halfway half, where he's getting it sort of in his own half and sort of trying to work magic
back to goal.
It's just very different. Again, I was a bit when he came in, I was a bit sort of I'm not too sure about it, but then I just think is a completely different team as Ben mentioned. Hopefully that, and also you have to think Yang obviously is back at the EMC as well, but you got BTA that can play there as well, so it may not always be that often. So you've got loads of different sort of scenarios that we can run out and play.
Yeah, I guess it's the interesting thing about the Oriental players. We spoke about it a while ago, Ben, about how disciplined and their work rate and the effort they put in. So whether he's lightweight or not, if he's happy to cover every blade of grass and out the left back out, that's fine for me. So what do you think, Tom, about Esse and Yang from what you saw at the Stoke game?
Yeah, very, very exciting players. I think was it Esse in the second half as well, that bit of skill. Beautiful. I mean, Hadji should have scored it, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to keep bashing Hadji. But that bit of skill got me very excited. But Yang as well. I think he looks a real good player. And what Ben's just told me there, massive talent.
He froze again.
Oh, I'm back. Very, very exciting players. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do. Yeah, very excited though.
You could see Esse getting a bit annoyed, thinking this isn't where we want. This isn't the level we want to be playing at. We're better than this. And he was sort of drifting across the pitch, and he wanted to get on the ball. And I feel like he's going to be a player that's now he's been training with Premier League players and getting on the ball, and he's going to bring confidence, and he'll get better every game, 100%.
Yeah. There was one moment where he's a 20-year-old lad just come to the team. He was telling the team, I can't can't really tell you that tell him to push up and stuff like that.
Yeah, he was like this, wasn't he?
Yeah, like he wants to basically attack. That's his main role, and I say. Not he maybe have a little bit of arrogance. Yeah, I've come from a Premier League team now. I've got my big move and all that sort of stuff, but in a good way, where he's expecting players to do X, Y, Z. But I did feel like the game on Saturday had a very much a friendly vibe to it as well. Obviously, the crowd was quite competitive crowd-wise, and the pace of the game did have that sort of friendly stop-start kind of vibe. So I think Leicester will be a lot more exciting, and I think he'll sort of shine even more in that game.
Yeah, it was another. Sorry, Scott. SA, look, he got stuck in as well. Do you remember when he came back in the area, slid in, won the ball? He looks like hungry, and like he brings standards and like he's hunger as well. You can tell he wants to do well. He's come here to play. There's no way he wants to sit on the bench. He's come to play. Yeah,
I think standards is a key word, isn't it?
He wants to prove himself, and then that's it, really. You've seen it like on his social medias, what he said in like his pre-game press. He just wants to prove himself, and there's bags of potential in him. And I mean, even Millwall fans are saying it as well. So yeah, I think out of the two new signings, he's one that excites me the most. But I'm really happy about both of them. Yeah. But hopefully more to come in.
Yeah, I think he might bring a bit more energy and pace as we were first half of the season. You know, that energy, that pace, I think he'll bring that back. I don't think he wants to watch the ball going, left back, right back, centre back, goalkeeper. He wants the ball. He wants the game going. I mean, I watched a bit of Premiership football over the weekend and some of the FA Cup games. And they're getting the ball and they're banging it out wide, they're crossing it. It's a hell of a lot quicker than we're seeing at the moment. So whether you'll bring something like that to the table and speed it up a bit, it'd be interesting to see. But as a 20-year-old lad, he looks like he's got a bit of leadership about him as well at the moment. So
he's going to be good to watch at home. He is. He's going to be good to watch at home.
Yeah. And if they get him riled up, for Leicester Saturday, these are our main rivals, not a derby, whatever you want to call it. He might be banged up for that, and it could be quite fiery, I would imagine.
And Leicester players have been accused of this season of a lack of effort and a lack of heart and not playing for the club. So hopefully we can put them to the sword, and if we go in with the right attitude on Saturday, because my God, we need a win, don't we?
Yeah. Have they lost anybody through AFCON at all?
Paxton Daka, but I think he's
back.
Is he back? He scored at the weekend, didn't he?
Oh yeah. They had Fatwawu and Ari Bergara, but they didn't qualify. I think that was it. So
Right, okay.
I don't think there's anyone missing really, which is probably not a good thing for them anyway. They're probably better to have a few of the players missing, I guess.
Yeah. So what would your lineup be for Saturday then, Ben? Knowing what you know, everybody, I'm assuming whether Torp or BTA come back, don't know. But now we've got two new signings in. What would your starting lineup be?
My starting lineup, obviously Thomas is suspended as well, isn't he, for the next 3 games? So
yeah,
I'd go with. I think I'd play Wolfie, to be fair. Kitchen will play Kitchen will play, but Latty was good the other day. He was all right. We always do okay when he plays. We're pretty solid, but you can't run. I'd play, obviously, if Torp's fit, Torp comes in for me straight away. I'd just replace Sakamoto with SA, and I'd play Sims instead of Wright, and bring Mason Clark back in on the left.
So
because I think Son coming off the bench would be brilliant.
Milan, Wolfie, Kitchen, JDS.
Yep.
Yeah.
Torp,
Grimes,
Radoni.
Right, okay. EMC, SA, and Sims.
Yes.
Spot on.
I'd personally,
I'd like to see.
I'd make one slight little tweak to that, which I don't think will happen at all, to be honest with you. But I would put Tats on the right and SA at 10, and give Radoni some time off and come off the bench, because I think every time he's come off the bench, he looks a lot sharper as well. He did look a lot better against Stoke, but I think Tats at home against Leicester, he did quite well. He's good defensively as well. I don't know. I've got a bit of faith in Tats.
I think Tats will start on the right, Jay. To be honest, I don't think SA will start.
I agree. I agree. It'll be the usual team. It'll be Radoni, Tats, and EMC. Sims up top, I guess. But I personally would like to see, SA.
Is Bobby 2 more games, or is it 3? Because does the FA Cup count? 2?
Yeah.
So is he suspended? Yeah, just Stoke in 2 more games, isn't it? Yeah, that's what he's out.
Millwall, Norwich. back for QPR.
Right, okay.
The
And
game's
seems
gone mad, hasn't it, lads? Like, see sending off for the pull on the hair the other day. I think it was against.
Oh,
someone
pathetic.
against
Oh,
Wolves.
my God.
And then the referee, we've lost the game. He's clipped him on the back of the head. Like, come on, they've just missed a penalty 10 minutes before that. But they can see a little flick on the head, and the geezer that goes down should be ashamed of himself.
Today's game, he kicked out as well, admittedly. In today's game, you can't really do that, unfortunately. But I truly hope, because that really riled me up, what he did then. It was petulant. There's no need to. We lost it. I hope Wolfie comes in now, has like the best 3 games of his career now, and sort of keeps Bobby out of the team just to teach him a lesson. Because Frank did look very pissed off after that when he said he never saw a replay of it, but I'm sure when he looks back at it, he'll be absolutely vexed about that sort of whole scenario. So
he looks tired as well, Jay, doesn't he? Lampard looks knackered.
Yeah, I think he looks a bit gaunt to me, maybe a bit sick as well. I think around that.
Yeah, definitely. His voice has gone a bit, hasn't it, Jay?
Yeah, I think a rest for everyone would be good. Would be good as well. So yeah, but I just think I hope Wolf comes in and has a cracking game against us and just sort of makes Bobby worried a little bit for his position.
Yeah. That's a good point, Jay, to be fair. I think that them 2 players come in as well, it adds more competition, because if EMC and Tats are fit, they play. So now they've got to play for the shirt a bit more, the same as what the centre halves do. And I think that was going to bring more hunger.
Yeah, and also, like, obviously EMC, that position he's earned that position as of now. He's in fantastic form. Tats may be a little bit worried, because his form hasn't been fantastic.
But I would be
from his illness, so he may be thinking, "Oh crap, I've got to sort of perform," which is never a bad thing because he's going to have to up his game now and up his levels. Rodoni's same situation, same boat as well. So it's not a bad thing, absolutely not a bad thing at all, in my eyes. And Wolfie knows he's got 3 games now 2 more games now to sort of really cement. I wasn't impressed. I'm sure we'll talk about this in a moment, but I was not impressed with our centre backs on Saturday, as I haven't been for the last for quite a while.
I would say I think we've looked defensively very shaky recently.
I think all season. Again, I love them individually, but they give up so many opportunities to the opposition. Again, it's quite hard, as we sort of touched on in the main show. Fullbacks pushing on so high, both of them pushing up so high. It's almost like you got Grimes sort of sitting there, but he ain't got the legs to sort of run back as quick as he may need to. And you got Kitch, who's not the fastest. Thomas is not the fastest as well. They both got to recover and sort of split and get across the pitch, really. So yeah, I just think we look again. Stoke wasn't anything sort of fantastic, but we just looked so open. Little side ball
in the first half.
Yeah, it was just basic stuff. Very, very open. So again, I'm sure Scott will sort of lead us into slate, but we're talking about transfers. That is one area I'll definitely look at. But again, I don't think it's realistic.
Yeah, I think it's something that I've noticed over a number of games that when I don't know if it's a gap between Grimes and the other midfielders or the centre forwards and the midfielders, but I don't know how many times, whether you guys have noticed it as well, if the ball's cleared by the opposition or by ours, it normally lands to an opposition player on the halfway line unchallenged. There's normally nobody anywhere near them for 5 or 10 yards.
Spot on.
I just don't get how that happens week in, week out half the time.
Yeah, do you know what I've noticed, Scott, which is missing from the start of the season to the last month, and this comes from energy levels, second balls. We're not on second balls anymore, which in the first half of the season we was, and Torp has been very good in that regard. Second ball, he's very clever, Torp, and he anticipates things very well. He reads the game well, and he's defensively been quite good this season. He's strong, and he's looked a totally different player than last season. So hopefully, when he gets back in, our sort of framework looks a bit better in there.
Yeah, it's that effort you were talking about. I mean, again, where I sit on the halfway line, we're normally a little bit slow getting out to stop across. We're normally getting out to the edge of the box when the ball bounces out to close somebody down, and that's probably to do with the energy levels. But yeah, get that back, and I think we'd be a completely different side. You're going to say something, Jay?
Go on, Jay, you go.
I was going to say pretty much what Ben said. I think energy levels as well. If you look back at the Charlton goal against us, obviously Brown messes up on 2 occasions, and the view from behind, so sort of looking from behind the Charlton goal down to the Coventry goal, you see obviously Brown making a mess up. Grimes is sort of covering the area, and then is it Rankin Costello? He's bombing down Rodoni sort of jogging back. You see Kitchen sprinting back as fast as he can. The only player that did it. But again, 4 months ago, everyone would have been dashing back. It's just the energy levels. Again, also it's the energy levels where you physically can't run back as quick you want, but also mentally as well. You're mentally probably a little bit tired as well to give you that little second, oh crap, I need to run back. So by the time you thought about running back, that player's maybe 5 yards ahead of you now, and then you can't catch up. And then we had Jamie Allen trying to sort of catch him up as well, but obviously his little baby legs couldn't quite keep up, unfortunately. But I think physically and mentally they're very, very tired and very, very gassed. But yeah, Torp, by the time that Torp will be back, he's back in training, and hopefully he starts on Saturday. And I think that'll be a massive, massive plus for us.
I think it's something I've noticed, and there's probably a few things going around my head, that we've been caught a few times when we've left one at the back, and all of a sudden I don't think we're actually great at it. Normally it's Milan. I remember Plymouth away last season, got caught on the ball. The sun was probably in his eyes, and we conceded a goal. Dare I say it again, Milan against Sunderland at home in the playoffs. Got caught on the ball late. Brow's done it. We had a goal against Burnley, I think, where we had a goalkeeper and a centre half getting mixed up, and we seem a little bit vulnerable when we're leaving one at the back. At Ipswich away, we've got two centre halves in front of Hurst. The ball goes over the top. He's onside in his own half, and they scored. It's just like.
I would caveat that though, Scott, with we are the highest. I think this is right. The highest goal scorers from set pieces. That's
right.
Probably why putting Scotty's up as well. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword, I guess, as well.
Yeah, I can see why he's doing it with the pace. I mean, Milan and Brow are both quite quick, but balls over the top. They're not the best in the air, and letting the ball go over their shoulders at times probably the wrong decision. It might just be a simple decision making. Just nod it back from where it's come from. That's your first job, but. See how that goes, but it just seems to have flickered something in my mind of previous goals that we've conceded. But
this defence can do it, but the concentration is the issue. I think everyone underestimates the amount of travelling you have to do in this league. The amount it's not only that, it's like Jay said, the mental side of it. It's exhausting. You're away from your girlfriend, your family. You're up and down the country. You're going down to the bottom, and then it's Middlesbrough at the top, and it drains you. And I think these two home games now back to back is a good time for everybody to just get back on it, get relaxed, because it's Saturday, is it? The next two games, or have we got a Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Saturday. Yeah.
Leicester on Saturday, Millwall Tuesday.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Norwich Monday,
and
randomly.
Norwich Monday night, isn't it?
Yeah. See, I'd worry about them because that McCarmer, he's hit real form. He scored another hat trick again. He'd be someone I'd be looking at if we go up next season, because he's a big unit. He's fast, he's quick, he knows where the goal is, and he's only 19.
Is he the lad with the afro?
Yeah.
I think so.
He came on against us. I thought he looked a car towards in his first game.
He did.
He looked awful.
He's not now.
Got a hat trick today, didn't he?
He played left wing against us, Scott. He played on the left, yeah.
Yeah.
Just as Bender's triggered something in my mind. Out of the last 9 games that we've had since December, we played 6 of them away, 3 of them at home. There's a lot of travelling, getting around here, there, and everywhere. And now we've got a good little run of home games now. So we've got obviously 2 home games, 2 away games, 2 home games, 2 away. It's pretty much 2 home, 2 away, 2 home, 2 away.
We've got more home games and away games for the rest of the season, I think.
There you go.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the tougher games are at home now going forward. So that's also.
Yeah, so if we do go on to transfers, then we've probably got about 6 or 7 minutes left. Tom, obviously got SA and Yang in. Ideally, your thoughts on what we could do with in January?
Definitely think a central midfielder for me, 100%, no question. People saying about a left back, but we've got 3 of them currently. There was a rumour about Bidwell to Pompey. I don't know if there's any legs in it. I don't think we're going to get any more attacking options in. I think Lampard even said that we're not going to get any more in. For me, it's a central midfielder. It is crucial. And I think someone at the back as well. I think Ben touched upon that earlier. So for me, I'd be looking at them positions. More towards the back end of the pitch than the front end of the pitch at the moment. But a central midfielder is crucial.
Any names? Anybody spring to mind that you'd like,
I'd
realistically?
Love from Watford.
Yeah.
It'd never happen. It'll never happen. Yeah. Big
Bournemouth
money.
are in for him, aren't they?
Yeah, Everton were after him, weren't they?
Yeah, yeah. I think it's going to be close to sort of 20 mil from what I've heard.
Really?
So it's going to be quite expensive. But again, he's a top player.
Go on, Jay.
Basically, last week before we signed the 2 loan lads, Sky did report that we're looking at a winger, centre mid, and a left back is what we're looking at. You also have to factor in we've got with loan players, even though they're both under 21, we still have to register them. We can take Andrews out, Perry out, Bell out of that. Obviously, still play them if needs be. But when you look at that, we've got 24 players in our squad, and you're only allowed 25. I personally think the one player that we do need, as Tom mentioned, is a centre midfield player. I would want a statement. We've lost Ben Sheaf, and I would want a statement centre midfield player to come in that position, because Torp plays. I had a look at this over the last 2 seasons. He plays 4 out of 5 games, so he misses 1 every 5 games as well. So again, I'm a big fan of Eccles, but it looks like Lampard prefers to play him more forward than in that sort of position. That sort of leaves Allen, which I'm a massive fan of starting Allen. So I would say that 25th spot would go to that centre midfield player. Dan Neil is a name that's been mentioned, but he's been shot by the looks of it. And personally, I would like a more dynamic centre midfield player, a bit like a Gus a couple of years ago, Gus Hamer a couple of years ago. That's something that can get up and down the pitch and sort of ping balls around. On that sort of Gus sort of frame of player would be ideal for me. Then anyone else is a player out for a player to come in. Again, correct. People want a striker. If Hadji forces a move, that's the only way we're getting another attacker in. If Hadji forces a move, a bit like Josh Sargent has today, apparently he's sort of trying to force a move to Toronto, then yeah, fine, we get a player in to replace him. Left back, Brow, I personally would get Brow on loan, then Bidwell, just for the experience and the sort of leadership. Get Brow out, get your left back in, maybe a young sort of fullback there. And then I personally think that the area that's probably most unrealistic in my eyes, but the one area that we probably need the most is a centre back. And I've said all summer, the 2 areas that I wanted to cover, 2 statement signings I wanted was a centre midfield player and a centre back. And I don't want a Wolfenden to come in. I don't want a Charlie Hughes to come in. That's maybe sort of on par with what we've got. I'd want somebody that's sort of Premier League ready. Maybe do a lefty kind of deal where we go to a top club and say, look, we'll take so and so off you for a loan. We'll cover the wages, and then when we get promoted, we'll pay you 20 mil to get that sort of deal done. And that player's going to come in and sort of really sort of take us to the next step. Also, I want a player or 2 that's going to scare the shit out of players. Like I want Borough to think, oh crap. I want Ipswich to think, oh crap. These boys mean business as well now. Again, I think probably 2's probably a max we're going to get, but I would like a centre midfield player and the left back. I think are probably the 2 areas that we probably need to look at most and most realistic. That centre back, if Latty goes, I think would be an option. And yeah, a striker if somebody goes. But yeah, it's going to be sort of 1 in 1 out kind of scenario. After midfield player.
About yourself, Ben?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a case of 1 in 1 out now, regardless. I do. I think that when Bidwell goes, then someone will come in. I do think Bidwell will leave this window because I feel like he'll have had a chat with Frank and they'll have said, look, you're not going to play the X amount. Kane Kessler-Hayden's been unlucky with injuries as well. So don't forget we've got him who can cover at left back. But just to be clear, I don't want Luke O'Nien, but that's the profile that I'd be looking at centre half. And I think personally that I'd rather go for a centre half than a centre mid in this window. And some, like Jay said, someone that's Premier League ready, or someone that's not playing in the Premier League that's got the experience. I want somebody to come in and go, right, calm down. We're in this position. Let's get together and organise, talk. Because if we can sort that defence out, I think we'll be all right. We'll be fine. We've still got the most clean sheets in the league now, haven't we?
Yeah,
which is an interesting stat. Which is why I say, Jay, that it's concentration. That's what it is with these boys. It's concentration. It's not that they're not good enough. They are, but these are the players you get at this level. This is why they're at this level.
Exactly. I always say this. People say Hadji needs to do this. If he was banging in a goal every week, he wouldn't be playing for Coventry City. I say it all the time as well. But my only concern with the centre backs is because I do like them. I think Bobby done really well this season. Kitchen stepped up apart from the last couple of weeks, he stepped up massively as well. But we can see like Rushworth has that high goals against or goal prevented stat, which is very, very unusual. Again, Meslier last year at Leeds, his is one of the lowest in the league, just because they had such a solid obviously Burnley as well, with a phenomenal defence. Obviously, goalkeeping needs to do their job, but I just think that we can't afford Rushworth to be saving us week in, week out. And we need to win a game 1-0 every now and then, like we did against Stoke, like we did against, I don't know who else. We won 1-0. Swansea, yeah. Those sort of games, we need those. We need to grind those games out sometimes. It just feels like at the moment we need to score 2, 3. Like teams were against us, you need to score 3 to beat us. It feels like we're in that situation now, where we need to basically just sort of tighten up, really tighten up at the back and sort of prevent people from suffocate people at the back, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I wrote down four roles really. I wrote down a left back. I wrote down KKH. We've got him. I think I probably had a bit of stick on the WhatsApp group a couple of times, but I think Bidwell defensively was all right yesterday against Manoff, and I think he played. I can't think the other game. I thought he did all right. Obviously, wasn't that great going forward, but defensively, if that's his main job for me, I think he's been doing all right. Yeah, he's 31 and he probably does need replacing, but Harrison Burrows has sprung to mind. But he played with Sheffield United today, but he's probably going to cost a few quid. So, but it was something that I looked at. Centre midfield. Be nice to have somebody who can replace Grimes. We mentioned Loser, but 20 million quid, that's not going to happen, I don't suppose. But a centre mid would do. And I wrote down a centre back. I actually wrote down a beast with strength and lots of speed.
Tanganga would have been perfect.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said this in the start. Just put out there, I play the centre back on my 7 side, and I'm quite chunky, so I can. That sounds like me. I haven't got the pace, unfortunately, though. But I just think. I'm sort of again. I like Latty, but I'm sort of semi-hoping he's getting a bit frustrated with the lack of minutes, and he sort of forces a move. That sort of forces Doug's hand, and then you have to get centre back in, and hopefully that centre back is again. Hopefully that centre back is. I don't want somebody that's on par with what we've got, because what we've got on par is we're going to have the same sort of problems, I guess. I want somebody to come in and just sort of elevate us, like Grimes did effectively. Came in and really changed the way we played on midfield. That one man, you completely changed it. I want that sort of centre back to come in.
Centre back player, yeah. I thought the same. Somebody can dish it out verbally and physically. You know, be noisy to his own players, be noisy to the opposition, give him a bit of grief, wind them up a bit.
I hate him.
You know,
and
I
also the same.
Go on.
I said that name keeps popping up over and over again. I'm like, no, please, God, I don't like him.
And you know what? Everything I've heard about him off the pitch, he's a lovely, lovely bloke. Yeah. Really nice bloke, but cross the white line, turns into an animal that would probably have a go at his own players. You know, you think, like you say, that's somebody you want at times. I even wrote the same thing down for a striker. I could do with somebody like that in the middle of the pitch, but I don't think that's going to happen. So I think, you know, for me, we got Wright or Sims. I think Frank needs to demand what he wants out of them. I think we were saying the other day that you look at Adji, international player, a most expensive player, an experienced player. Come on, mate, show us what you got.
Confidence player. Add that to the list.
Prove it to us. Come on, mate. You know, I mean, at the Birmingham game he came on, he's 10 yards behind Sims when we had 2 up top, and I'm like, get yourself in the box, man. You know, and that might change now. We've got Esse in the side who's going to beat the odd player here and there and cross it, you know, and see what happens. But I don't think I'd be very surprised if they sold Hadji in January, unless they've got somebody with a pen and a bit of paper in their hand ready to go. I'm playing for Cov then. Yeah. You know, you're leaving yourself 2 weeks if you're selling for 25 million, whatever. You ain't going to find a replacement, I don't think.
Yeah, well, unless they've got someone lined up already, you never know. Again, these sort of deals take time. Obviously, Grimes, we knew Grimes was happening for a week before it actually happened. Yeah, and also, Coventry must be a really good proposition to go to. Big crowds. Obviously, now we've got the stadium. Frank Lampard as the manager. 6 points clear. If you think, you're coming in as a player, these guys are 6 points clear. They're playing well. Obviously, had a little bit of a blip. Lampard's up the boss.
Scoring goals.
4 goals for fun. A striker would absolutely love that. All the chances we create, you look at the stats and then the data, any striker would sort of really love that. Imagine if whoever sort of pops in, and obviously a name that I've seen pop up all the time, which again I think is very unrealistic, is Evan Ferguson. If he came in, he would absolutely love it, and he'd be banging in goals left, right, and centre. If you got anything about you and you believe in yourself.
I like Jay. Yeah. Still the Oxford forward from Spurs.
Lancashire.
I've heard his name quite a few times. I think he's quite a good player.
Yeah, obviously,
I do. A bit like Yang. He's playing for a team that sort of probably doesn't play the football that he
To his
wants.
strengths, yeah.
And also, I feel this is my thing with Andrews as well. I don't want to risk. I don't want
No, I
players
get it.
risking
Yeah.
you risking your promotion. I want players to come in and bum.
Yeah.
Get
Sargent
the-
would be perfect, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Perhaps they've just spelled Coventry wrong and they've started it with a T and an O and an R. Don't know.
There you go. There you go. Again,
Toronto
he's
City.
worse than Hadji at the moment with the misses he's had this season. So and his hairstyle's worse than Billy Jack Rodoni's as well. So maybe let that one. But also, if you look back statistically, even when from Lampard's whole career as a manager, his strikers don't score a lot of goals. I think Tammy Abrahams is the highest goal scorer at Charlton. I think got about 15 goals or something. Again, this is the stat I looked at ages ago. His strikers in general don't score a lot of goals these days. It's normally sort of wingers, I guess. That sort of you look at Vicky Ocares at Arsenal. It's really struggling. There's not many, apart from Haaland, there's not many sort of number 9s that are performing magnificently.
Yeah, the dogs work, don't they, Jay?
Yeah, you name 3-4 that are doing well in the Premier League and in the Championship. There's not many. Hart Morris, they sort of players.
Kiefer Moore would be a good. We're not going to get him, obviously, but Kiefer Moore's the sort of profile, someone that can get hold of the ball and get. We've been saying it all season. We need someone where the ball sticks, the wingers can get round, and as much as I don't really like Kiefer Moore as a player, that's the sort of profile we need. But we're not going to get it this window.
But also the problem with that is Kiefer Moore. If we do again, the aim is to get the Premier League. Kiefer Moore's not a Premier League player as well. So you're going to spend. Let's say he costs $5 million, for example. You spend $5 million on him. You have him for 4 months, and then you've got to offload him again. It gets wages off the ball. So you basically then do you gamble and go for a fake kind of deal where you're an obligation to buy if you go up for 20 mil, cover his wages, which is about 1.5 mil, 1.8 mil, which obviously Doug is not massively keen on. Do you go down that route instead, or do you go for the young loan potential players and things like that?
I think you're right, Jay. I think you have to go for someone that's when you're in this position, you can't look back at the end of the season and go, "Oh, we risked it getting Will Lancashire in." As much as I like him, you need to spend, and you need to just go, right, we're having him, like he has done with SA, I think.
Yeah. Again, this is a very unrealistic deal. I'm going to mention here, but Gus is the sort of player I think would work perfect with Grimes. One, they pay that fee over 5 years, which the last instalment is due in summer, which is about $3 million. He's not playing fantastically at the moment. He scored today, but apparently he wasn't fantastic. But obviously they pay him on left wing. A return to home, maybe a little $5 million bid, which effectively would be $8 million. Plus we've got 10% sell-on clause, so you put that potentially. He's got 18 months left of the contract as well. That sort of deal may be available.
I like it. I like that.
Yes, let's get it done. Let's get it done. So that sort of deal mathematically could work, because also a lot of their fans are sort of saying we're happy to let him go. He's not performing well. 18 months left in the contract. He does look a bit porky than he was when he left. But again,
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I'll put a few pounds in that period of time as well. Exactly. There is $3 million sell-on clause, which obviously if he goes for free, it's not going to be that much. But and then put a sort of, and they need the cash as well. Sheffield, they look like they need the cash, so it could be a good deal for
an option. Yeah.
I think together would be really good. And you took Torp in there as well, which I'm a massive fan of. And then what I think is a lot of teams are sort of getting 2-3 players around Grimes and sort of really trying to nullify us and sort of suffocate how we play. But if you've got 2 players on him, if you've got Gus next to him, he can run the show himself as well.
Yeah.
He's actually just a little bit higher up, I guess, as well. So he can massively take the pressure of Grimes in a different way. Also, he could play left wing as well if needs be. He could play in the 10 if need be. Obviously, we've got those areas sort of covered now as well. And the biggest factor is, so I know I've talked quite a lot about this, but the buzz it will give the fans. Like, it'll be get his number 38 shirt back. The fans will go crazy. Doug will sell a few more shirts as well to cover any costs with his name printed on the back. It'll be, and also it's a massive statement signing as well. He may not be informed, but that's a big statement signing as well. And then get Virgil van Dijk at the back, and we're sorted.
Mickey van der Ven.
There you go. Perfect.
It's a bit like you mentioned Kiefer Moore. I know he's probably not the kind of player, but we've spoken about a 9. He's the type of player that you want because he rubs everybody up. Kiefer Moore does. I mean, we don't see Adji or Simsy too often, squaring up to centre halves and giving them a hard time. I think we could do with somebody who's just going to dish it out. Like you said, centre half and striker would be nice to have that spine that's got a little bit of nastiness to it. So it'd be interesting to see what happens over the next 2 weeks.
I think I like that. I really like that, Jay. And everyone just thinks, "Oh, let it go, Amos." No, don't. But I think spend 10 million on him. You know what you're getting. He can play in the league above if we get promoted, and he can win you a game on his own.
But the thing is, it didn't have to be 10 mil. Let's say the overall package 10 mil, but they owe 3 mil already for that last payment. So that brings it down. The sell-on clause as well. I don't know. Let's forget that. So let's say the deal's worth 7 mil. But because 80 million had a contract, you put in a £5-6 million bid in for him. That's good. He's 20 years old and he's played in the Premier League and did well in the Premier League as well.
Yeah,
he's a Premier League ready player, and he's got a little X factor that would give us the crowd a buzz.
His corners, unbelievable. Remember his corners, Jay. He can whip a ball in.
Mate, he'd set pieces in general, and he's another player that can smack it from 25-30 yards as well. He can head it from 25-30 yards as well. You remember against Watford. So I personally, I like that shout myself. But again, realistically, but also, I said this time last year, Matt Grimes. I love Matt Grimes. That deal's never going to happen. Obviously, that happened as well. So
yeah,
you never know what Douglas King is working on whilst we're talking.
You never know. When's it end? 1st of Feb.
Yeah,
second. It's a Monday.
Right.
It's 3 weeks tomorrow. 2nd of Feb, 7:00.
Right. Okay.
So
what happens then?
Beautiful, gents. Great chat.
Thank you very much. Win on Saturday against Leicester would be nice, and then everything will be forgotten, and we'll be at least another 6 points clear until Ipswich play their game in hand. So, thank you for your time, chaps. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Gents.
See you
All
soon.
the best.
Play up, Sky Blues.